Sync.
Okay, that was better.
Alright.
Okay. Welcome once again, all, to the Triple Baka podcast, the only one on the internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pay no attention. I found, we found that there is another already. That's been going for like 6 years.
Well, sucks to be them when we dethrone them.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Those are the ones that we have to actually start the rivalry with. Not the PCP. We need to start the rivalry with the other Triple Baka podcast.
Yeah. When do you think Jeff Thu of Mother's Basement will join the Triple Baka podcast? But the other one.
To be fair, the other one is actually called Baka Baka Baka. It's not called, quote, Triple Baka. It just is the word Baka 3 times.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Legally distinct.
This is what the rivalry is. It's the first of our groups to get Jeff Thu of Mother's Basement on as a guest.
That's the first one that's a real anime podcast.
I will have to bite my tongue for an entire episode and not insult him directly. It'll be difficult, but I think I can do it.
I think I can respect Jeff Thu.
No.
He's on that grind. Speaking of anime, though, what we've been watching lately?
I've been watching Densetsu Kyojin Ideon still. And,
nice.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't doubt that Ideon is going to become an artistic masterpiece by the time I get to the end of it. But right now, it's real rough. It's like I just got to episode 15, and it was about episode 13 that the show started to get good. It's like Tomino forgot he wasn't just directing Gundam again, and now he's like, oh fuck, wait, I was supposed to be like directing a show. Wait, god damn it. Is that what I was doing? Fuck. And then he had to work with what he had, and it's still pretty Gundam, but it's getting different. I got, as of recently, the main character had, like, a new mother figure that was, like, inserted into the cast, and then she died within, like, 15 minutes of her introduction, and she was killed by, like an alien invasion of, like, a bunch of spaceships, and she dies in front of him, and he gets in the robot, and he's, like, so angry, and he starts yelling while in the robot while killing them, sort of like how Shinji does, And while he's doing that, the robot actually kind of goes haywire, and, like, it starts doing shit on its own, and then it, like, screams. Like, the robot audibly screams. It's, like, a really loud, like, low yell that, like echoes all over the fucking, like, military base they're on, and, like, a huge, like, laser beam shoots out of, like, its faceplate, and it's really spooky, and I'm really hoping they capitalize on this later.
Are they like Ava-style robots?
I don't know yet. There's only one of them. We'll see. There's only one robot, and they keep saying that it's, like, terrifying, so, I'm wondering what it's going to turn out to be. The other thing I watched was Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters GX. It sucks.
Yeah? Wow.
It sucks real bad. I don't like GX at all. If you like GX, that's fine. I'm not gonna hold it against you, even though reasonably I should. I don't know. GX just sucks. It has the least going on in it. It has the least strong overarching plot. It has the worst animation. It's got, like, the worst characters. It's got... I don't know. It's just a really weak Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Nothing else?
Nope.
GX looks like every other Yu-Gi-Oh! Series.
I mean...
No.
Yeah, okay. Oh. I haven't watched any anime. Yeah.
Wow.
Sayu,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Sayu, I'm calling you out. You have only came to the show with one anime to show off so far, and it was like that sugar plum fairy thing. That was it. That's the only anime you've watched in the entirety of the time you've been on this podcast.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. You're gonna get banned at this rate.
Yeah.
No, please. I contribute so much to the other topics.
Yeah,
think-
like getting me to try and bait you,
You
over
do.
and over again.
You know, you're a very important part of the trio. But what I've been
Okay,
watching,
good, I wasn't sure.
I have been watching. I watched like a couple more episodes of Ashita no Joe. I'm just like I am busy with like trying to clean up the house and like doing the too many drawings that I have. But there's something I wanted to say about Ashita no Joe, which is only becoming more apparent in this coming arc. That the way that characters like communicate with each other is like really strange. I mentioned that like last time they're very like simplistic, one-dimensional on the surface kind of characters that just like only once you actually get to know them you can tell that there's like more complex unspoken thought processes.
Yeah.
But another thing that's like weird about the way that this show's written is that it's kind of like something that like anime has become known for, that like characters will often just like directly explain what they're thinking out loud like all the time. But everybody in this show has this really strange indirect way of communicating with other characters where they'll just like start doing some shit and they'll just like hope that it sends a message to another character, and it like won't be apparent what the message is like supposed to be. You know, like where like especially Danpei, the old man, the like coach guy.
Yeah.
Danpei all the time is just like doing shit that like I guess is meant to mean something to the other people. Like right now what's going on is like he's made a huge deal about like I gotta train Joe. I gotta be Joe's coach, you know? And at some point one of the things that Danpei does was just like knock Joe the fuck out, where like he's like I gotta train Joe, and during the training what he does is he just like punches Joe in the face really fucking hard, and then Joe goes to the hospital. And what this was supposed to be later, it turns out, is that was Joe's training, is teaching him how to do that punch, and Joe needed to be on the other end of it to really get it. He wouldn't understand unless he got sent to the fucking hospital. And then Joe just got it. Joe was like, Danpei, yes, thank you for this training.
Thank you for punching the shit out of me.
But everybody else was like, why the fuck did you do that, Danpei? And now another thing that Danpei's doing is like he started coming to the top security prison island all the time, where he's like, I gotta get serious about this coaching job now. I'm back in the game. And instead of coaching Joe, he like takes on another like wimpy little kid and is just like brushing Joe off all the time, where he's like, Joe, I don't want to train you right now. And Joe's just like, what the fuck? You came here to train me. and like Danpei just refuses to train him right now. And Joe's just trying to figure it out. So this is how like almost every character, but specifically Danpei the most, works. And that's just weird. It's just weird the way this show is written all around. That's all I really had to say. Also, Toru Rikishi, the like big strong boxer man, which is becoming the rival of Joe, is the chaddest Chad in all of anime. That this needs to be spoken right now. There has never been a more Chad in history. Not in real life, not in anime or anything. All he does is he's just cool. That is literally his character, and he's so fucking cool. I can't get over it.
All right.
But that's all. That's all for Joe right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anime news. That's the other segment. I'm trying to make this a thing.
Yeah.
We got three news articles. Did you guys know that there are VR visual novels?
Wait, what?
What?
They're becoming more of a thing. I forget what company they are. My Dearest, that's what they're called. They make visual novels occasionally. I don't know what else they've made, but apparently they're a success. They made Tokyo Chronos a while back, which is only playable in VR.
Huh.
It's like a full 40-hour or more visual novel where like all you do is it's just a visual novel, but it's in VR. And they have now announced a new one, Chronos Alternative. And I guess people are excited for it.
Oh.
I don't understand how people are playing these very long form visual novels. It was always my impression that visual novels are kind of meant for something like a PS Vita, where you can like kind of pick it up and put it down, and it's like very convenient. But with a VR headset, you have to like sit down. And you got to make sure that
most visual novels are like PC exclusive. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, but the ideal...
Well, that's because they're from, like, stupid, like, little indie guys.
Yeah, the ideal visual novel experience is on, like, a PSP or a PS Vita. Technically, DS and 3DS, but DS and 3DS historically rarely get them, so...
I disagree.
Yeah.
You need that, like, full immersion. Like...
I mean,
yeah.
it's like reading a book. Have you never read a book out in public?
Well, no, because like visual novels are like a more involved experience because like you got like the audio and the visuals, so like you can be like more like the entire purpose of that is to just like immerse yourself even more.
Sayu, headphones are a thing, and you know, visual novels are typically experienced, you know, in Japan, of course, while you're riding the train around.
I don't know, like. I mean that might be true.
I feel like the larger audience for visual novels are societal rejects who spend all their time in their room.
That's also true, but then they can play the visual. They can play the visual novel in their bed on the console they most definitely already own.
Okay, I'm making the case for what the best visual novel experience would be.
And I still say it's on a portable console, hands down.
Yeah.
You can't get immersed in like a portable console, you know?
What? You're literally wrong.
Oculus Quest. Throw on the Quest while you're in the train. Chad move.
Let me just say, at this current moment in time, I have played through exactly 4 visual novels. All of the Danganronpa ones, and 999. And every single one of them I have played on a portable console, entirely in handheld mode. And I never once had any problem with getting immersed in them. Never. So, Sayu, you are just wrong.
On a
well,
telephone.
I played... yeah. Get real.
I do think watching movies on a phone is a crime, but
what about on the PS Vita?
That is entirely fine.
What's the difference?
The hypocrisy.
The difference is one of them is a PS Vita and the other one's your fucking smartphone.
What meaningful difference does that make in the movie watching experience, though?
You can receive text messages on your
Base.
smartphone. Nobody uses the messaging feature on PlayStation Network.
I don't ever get text. Why can't I watch a movie on my smartphone if I can watch a movie on my Vita?
Because, like, right, here's the thing. It's about what your brain is processing. Your phone is for looking at Twitter for 30 seconds at a time, any more gives you brain damage, and opening a mobile app for 2 minutes to do a daily quest and then closing it before you get a chance to spend money.
I'm sold.
Yeah, no. Like, doing anything on a console that your brain knows is for paying attention to is objectively a better experience than using your cell phone for it.
There was this one time where I took a road trip like across the entirety of America, where like I drove over to Pennsylvania and I drove back, and I loaded a bunch of movies onto my PSP. I downscaled them using some program, but the only one I actually ended up liking was what was it? How to Train Your Dragon, and I watched How to Train Your Dragon like 14 times.
Okay.
But the first viewing was pretty good.
Yeah. No, it's like, here, like, the thing is, right, when you're playing on your Vita, your brain is like, this is the device for paying attention to. I played through all of, I don't know, fucking Danganronpa. There aren't any other Vita games, so if you play through all of Danganronpa on there, I paid close attention to it the whole time.
Don't they got Steins Gate on a Vita?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Do they?
I don't know if it has a physical version, but I know it's on the Vita. But yeah, like, you know, you play the games on the Vita. You played through FF7 on your Vita. You played through fucking all the other FFs.
I guess it's a PS1
Yeah,
game.
PS1 classics. You played through, like, all these other fucking video games on your Vita. So your brain is trained to pay more attention to what happens on that screen as opposed to your phone screen, which societally we all use our phones as, like, a quick look at it for 2 seconds or a look at it if I'm bored. What if you don't? Then I don't fucking know. I've never met someone who doesn't have that association with their phone. It's like, it's what phones do to you.
Fair. I don't know. Maybe this is just like a me thing. I don't like. For me, like playing like a game on my phone, I'm equally likely to pay attention to it as on a mobile console, which is not very much.
I don't know how you've gotten to that point.
I want to agree with like the wait. Who's shit.
Editor, cut this all out! Quick!
I want
Restart the episode.
What position is yours again? Are you saying that mobile consoles are all bad?
Mobile consoles, there's no meaningful difference in terms of watching movies between mobile consoles and mobile phones.
Okay, but is the mobile phone and mobile console as good as watching something in a theater?
No.
No, neither. No, obviously.
Okay.
Obviously not.
Get real.
I don't think anyone.
I kind of lost track of the conversation, and I am inclined to agree with like the Tom perspective.
Yeah.
That maybe it's the association, the brain.
It is.
But also, it would undeniably have been better if I watched like How to Train Your Dragon even on just a TV.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing.
And the same thing applies to visual novel.
I did actually get into anime by watching on Netflix Soul Eater and what was it? Soul Eater and Angel Beats on my 3DS.
Yeah.
In 240p.
Disgusting.
So that's how I got into anime.
Yeah, let me just say
there's there's no bad way to experience media except on mobile devices. All bad.
No, you're just wrong. You're just stupid. Sorry. I'm telling you that there is a very distinct difference between mobile devices and mobile phones, and the fact that you cannot observe the difference somehow is, like, shocking to me. Is this what playing App Store gacha games does to your brain?
Okay, enough. We have 2 more news stories.
No.
Oh my god, we're not even through the news segment.
Listen, okay, I don't play many gacha games. The only one I would still play is Genshin Impact and maybe Grand Blue, but you know.
I play Zero.
Yeah, well, that's just because you're uncultured.
Mamoru Hosoda's Bell. Have you guys heard of Bell?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, this is the guy who made their last movie was
Tenki no
Mirai.
Kare.
No, their last movie was Mirai no Mirai, also known as simply Mirai in the West. They also made Boy and the Beast and Wolf's Children and all those things.
Yeah.
They got this new movie, Belle, which as far as I can tell is about, like, I don't know, a girl who, like, meets her, like, furry boyfriend in, like, the fucking VR chat of the future or something. I don't know. But there's this film festival, the Cannes Film Festival, or Cannes, I don't know, Cannes Film Festival. It's world famous film festival. It's for the real Kino.
Yeah.
And it has received the longest standing ovation after its showing there in the history of world premieres at the Cannes Film Festival.
Huh.
Which means it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
I just thought that was of note. And now here's my favorite. Funimation launches a collectible figure of My Hero Academia's Invisible Girl, and I have
Wait, what?
the picture here.
Are you fucking serious?
This is real.
Oh my god.
I want to know the price. Oh, it is $18.
Well, I'm getting one. Where is it?
That is still way too much.
At the Funimation shop. There you go.
Speaking of collectible figures, I have now finished a Gundam unit.
Nice.
I finished 2 of them. I finished one of the prototype Gundam from the 1979 series. Editor, quick, throw up a picture of 1979 Gundam Man.
Okay.
That guy. I finished a picture, or a figure of him. And that one went kind of smooth. I actually dropped one of the small detail pieces and it disappeared somewhere, and I have yet to find it. So one of his front panels is missing a little square yellow thing, and I'm really glad his arm blocks it in the pose I have him in. And then I put together this really small one that I won at an arcade. And it was hellish. It wasn't, like, okay, it was labeled, like, all of the pieces were labeled, but for whatever reason, every label on the product was labeled 2. All of them. So, I don't know who those labels were for, but it wasn't me. And then I had... that one, quick, editor, throw up a picture of Char's Zaku from the 1979 series. That's what I put together. And he has this, like, weird, like, circle thing on his shoulder that, like, you had to, like, snap together. It was, like, split in half, but it was like a spike ball thing. And I had to push that together with my thumbs. directly into the actually sharp spikes, and it really hurt, and it took me like 5 minutes to put together. Like, just that piece. The overall unit took me about half an hour, but that piece, oh my god. But, okay, yeah, that's it for figure talk. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention how long the standing ovation actually was. It lasted a full, unbroken 14 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Belle.
That's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
Watch as it comes out and it's shit.
It's shit. I mean, it's not like Mamoru Hosoda has not produced a shit film before. Though he did only do it one time.
True.
It's
And
never
any of the viewers can interpret which one it was. I actually won't say it.
Okay.
Main topic time?
Main topic!
What were the main topic again? I forgot.
Things we can't get into.
You know, what I just can't get into is just how yellow Nyuu's videos are.
No, different episode.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, let's
It was
look up the
memes that
20
need to
something.
die.
No, I think that is literally the episode, that this happens in. I think that is,
Was it?
like, the podcast
No,
topic.
it is the topic, yeah.
Yeah, one of
I
the...
thought it was... What was memes that need to die? What was
that was the
Devu.
Devu Collective.
Oh, okay.
You know, back then, Jess may have been extremely transphobic, but, like, my god, those were entertaining, podcast
I think
episodes.
Jess is still extremely transphobic.
I don't doubt that.
I think he's the only one that actually was.
But, you know what? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here, even though I realistically shouldn't, knowing him.
I have no doubt that Jess is, like, an irredeemable asshole in real life.
Yeah.
But also he's epic and based, and his videos were literal artistic masterpieces.
His videos are unreasonably, like, high quality in terms of artistry, for YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, things we can't get into. Who wants to start?
Things I can't get into. Do you guys have anything off the top of your head? I have a small list.
Oh god, I did have something, but it's gone.
Things I can't get into. Card games.
Oh fuck, card games.
I've tried getting into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
There was one other. I tried to get into Bakugan.
Old Bakugan or new Bakugan?
Old Bakugan.
It's less of a card game. It's more of a marbles game.
I mean, you throw them on the cards.
You throw them on, like, the magnetic cards, yeah, and there's, like, a few cards, but it's more of a marbles game than anything.
Okay, I mean, you throw them at each other, but it's a card game.
A little bit. It's a light card game.
Either way, I can't get into card games. I can't get into Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, I've heard bad things, so I can't blame you there.
I guess there's really not that much to say about not being able to get into card games. There's something about it.
I like card games, to some extent. Yeah. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! In concept. I really despise Yu-Gi-Oh! In execution in a lot of ways.
I mean, you play Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I really like the new Digimon TCG. The cards look really good, and, like, the gameplay is, like, really fun, and fluid. It has, like, a cool mechanic that, like, forces, person's turns to end, like, instantly after a card resolution if you go over, like, your limit. So you can go as far past, like, your limit of, like, cost in your turn as you want, but you can only do it once with one effect, and then it instantly becomes your opponent's turn, and they're working with what you gave them into their, like, weird gauge thing. It's, like, a really cool concept that they're working with, and I really like it. I've only played a couple, like maybe one or two games of it so far, so I want to play some more. I want to really get into what it's like to play. Waiting for that official online sim Bandai. Waiting for that. Oh yeah, Magic sucks.
Yeah.
Pokemon the TCG sucks. The cards for Pokemon are really cool. The TCG is like terrible. I hate it.
There are like a few like CCGs that are alright. I
Yeah.
liked Shadowverse when I played it.
Yeah. Now
You know what I really can't get into?
What?
Gaming. I can't get into games.
Oh my god. I wish I had recorded a little bit of what you were doing last night so that we could have put it on the screen here.
What was it?
There was literally a boss fight in Sonic 1 on the Game Gear that has no it has no attacks. It has zero.
I was like not paying attention to that game. I'm not actually that bad at games.
I can't get over the fact that like it has no attacks. Never in my life have I seen someone die to it. And yet
I got through almost all of Sonic 2 my first try without game overing. Okay?
Okay.
Then I game overed about 16 times on the final boss.
That's because the final boss of that game is ridiculous. But I don't know. I can't offer much advice for getting into video games, mainly because
I didn't even elaborate.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of my issue with getting into games is I can't get into PC gaming because PC gaming feels like shit.
Yes.
A lot of you know that whole association thing we were talking about? I associate my PC with going onto the internet and like working on drawings and video editing and shit. And if I try and play a video game, I just feel like, okay, first of all, I am terrible at like, I gotta adjust the options over and over again.
You just
what's your issue with console gaming? I'm curious.
Console gaming doesn't have any freedom.
Why do you need freedom?
Where, like, I like to be able to mod my games. And you know what? Even though I struggle with it, I still like to be able to change the settings.
Yeah.
I just feel like console gaming is way too, like, limited. Like, we need ports.
There's objectively no excuse for why there aren't graphic settings on console games.
Like, I'm more likely to finish a game if I'm on console. Like, if I got a game on my Switch, I sit down, I get the controller, I sit down in front of the game, and it's like a real game. And I play it, and I have fun, and then I finish it. But if I have it on my computer, I'd never finish anything.
It's true.
I like playing games on PC more.
I have the same sort of problem, but I'm not bothered at all by console gaming. I have stats for this. I'm on my backloggery page, across all of Steam and like my PC and my PC downloads and things like that. I have beaten a grand total of 56 games.
Yeah.
Out of 408 registered finished games on my page. Personally, I find it easiest, oddly enough, to get into a game when it's on handheld. 3DS, DS, GBA, Vita, PSP, things like that. I find it the easiest to get into it like that because I can play it in any room in my house. I'm not really tied down to any spot. I don't need to leave my room to play the game, typically. And on top of that, it's like really easy to just pull the game out when I'm like just like laying in bed doing nothing.
This is something that what?
As much as I was shitting on it earlier, I'm kind of the same way. If it comes to console gaming, I'm way better about mobile like consoles than PC. Mainly just because I don't like all my consoles are outside of my room, and I don't like leaving my room.
I like mobile consoles. Like when I tried playing like Breath of the Wild and stuff, and like Mario Kart 8 on like mobile mode in Switch, and I have fun with it. I'd rather play on a TV though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's like something. I'm really like, I don't mind playing games at low settings at all. Like, I don't know why I bother with, like, switching settings all the time. It's just, like, I feel like I've spent the money to have a high-end computer. Yeah. So I should put it as high as it goes. But then if it doesn't run well, I'm like, I should lower it. And I'm like, but I have a high-end...
oh my god.
I've always wanted a separated system between, like, I want a game computer and I want a work computer. Or like I feel like that would really work for me if I just had a game computer.
Yeah, I get you. I feel that. Have you considered picking up like a MacBook or something? Just like a good
things
laptop
we can't get into. Not talking about the Steam Deck for 10 minutes.
Yeah, not talking about the Steam Deck.
I'm gonna get the Steam Deck.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting it.
Honestly,
me too.
I'm gonna uninstall every game from my computer that's not a VR game, and then I'm just gonna, like, if a game doesn't run well on the Steam Deck, I'm just gonna play it at low frame rates. I don't give a fuck. I just want, like, a separated system.
I feel the same way, honestly. Here's the thing, right? I don't have as big of a problem getting into PC games. It really depends on the game, right? Like, I associate the Souls franchise with PC, very specifically. For one reason or another. I'm not really sure why. One thing that I've done to trick my brain is I have a little TV sitting next to my desk, and games that I'm playing on that tend to register as PC games to me for some reason. So I've, like, played through Bloodborne like that a couple of times, and I've tried to play through Demon's Souls like that. Demon's Souls real hard, so... But yeah, like, I don't know, like, it depends on the game, you know? Like, I have a few games on my computer that reasonably I should have gotten into and finished, like, 1,000,000 times over by now, but I just can't fucking get into it, you know? Like, I have the whole Genesis collection on Steam, and, like, by all means, I should have been into this thing years ago and, like, finished everything, because I really like Genesis games, but something about sitting down and playing it on the PC, I don't like it. I don't know.
I think I'm done. I think I'm done with, like, buying expensive computers.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite of both of you. I can't, like... I've been at, like, the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 on my PS4 for, like... several months now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And I just can't... I can't bring myself to, like, I can't bring myself to, like, play it, like, ever.
Like I said, I really like the console gamer experience because I don't care about great performance. I like the sitting down, having a controller, all that.
Yeah.
Even though I hate control sticks, I wish I could use my Steam controller on a console.
Yeah. The thing
I'm the only guy who likes a Steam controller.
Yeah. I honestly care, like, a lot about, like, performance, and I like I really hate the idea that if the game just, like, sucks in terms of performance, that I just have to accept that. So that's why I like PC more.
No, like, I really don't care.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I've been playing this game recently, Alice Madness Returns, kind of a weird cult classic from, like, a decade ago, and it runs like ass. It runs literally so bad, you have no idea, but I've just been like, alright, game's running at 20 now.
Yeah. I started playing Dark Souls on PS3, and, you know, that game really doesn't run so good.
Oh my god.
It just didn't bother me. The other day, I thought, oh shit, there's like a few kinds of games that I care about frame rate in. Like, if I'm playing one of the Mirror's Edge games, I would like it to run at 60 FPS.
Yeah.
But just the other day, out of curiosity, I simulated what it would be like to have a bad computer while playing through Mirror's Edge 2.
Yeah.
I locked it to, like, 30. And I set my computer into, like, ultra power save mode, so it even, like, stuttered.
Oh my god.
And I set it to, like, 720p at, like, the lowest possible settings.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was fine. I
Yeah.
played through the whole game that way.
Yeah. I don't know. The console experience to me is a very good one, specifically for me, because I like the experience of I pick up the game off of the shelf, I put the game physically into the console, and I play it. And
the thing is, I just don't like that if I want to, like, you know, modify something, like if I think the performance preset of a game is shit, like if I think this game should have prioritized running at a high frame rate over like big graphics, then I should be able to change that. Or like if I want to mod the game, you know?
Yeah.
Then like I want to be able to alter those things.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Here's the real question. Minecraft? Console or PC?
You know, that's another thing I can't get into is modded Minecraft.
Same.
What? Oh my god.
This has always been like something. Like I'm more likely to hold a Minecraft world for like a while
if it's on vanilla.
if it's not modded.
Yeah, same. I don't like modded Minecraft. I'm for console Minecraft more so than PC Minecraft, but
I'm not. I feel like Minecraft is a PC experience.
But specifically, like PC is like sandwiched in the middle, right? The bottom tier for me is home console Minecraft. The highest tier for me, portable console Minecraft. You put that.
Oh,
you put
know
that
what?
Switch.
All right, if I could,
Yeah,
if
you
I
put
could
that
play,
shit on a phone. Yeah.
If I could play 3DS Minecraft, there was a version of 3DS Minecraft, by the way, official. If I could play 3DS Minecraft, I feel like that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I more so mean like the Switch one, but like you get all your buddies together, you know, in like one place. You put them all in one world. You don't need to pay for online at that point.
I forgot that Minecraft was also on Switch.
Yeah, but like you get all your friends together. You're playing on one world and in the same room, chattering about whatever, building stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the ideal Minecraft experience, and nobody has to lug around a big PC anymore. No one has to lug around a console. It's the ideal Minecraft for me because Minecraft, more than anything to me, is a social game. That's not a game you play through.
Yeah. I've never finished Minecraft. Things I can't get into, finishing Minecraft.
Yeah, same.
I've never once seen the end on something that wasn't like 2B2T.
The way I play Minecraft is I normally mod it to the point where it feels less like Minecraft and more like something like Factorio.
I'm actually most likely to hold playing Minecraft for a long time if I'm playing on 2B2T. I feel like that's the peak of Minecraft.
I can't stand like playing on 2B2T.
I love it. I feel like that's what Minecraft was meant for. That was Notch's original vision.
I've got one.
Just one world, like people are battling with the shitty spaghetti code of the game. Like
I've got one. I know one now, finally.
What?
Things I can't get into. OS on PC.
OS. I can't get into OS.
It sucks.
It's great.
Sucks so much. I fucking hate that game.
You get like a fucking tablet, you get all your fucking anime music, and it's just a jam. You know?
No. I don't like OS. I don't like it at all.
I think it's bad.
I can't even articulate why. Why do I not like? Why?
I can. Okay, so as everybody should know, I'm the rhythm game man. Rhythm games are my forte. If you want an opinion on a rhythm game that's going to be objectively correct, it's gonna be mine. And rhythm games, more than anything, are about soul.
But have you even played Poppin' Music?
Oh, I have not played Poppin' Music. I should totally tell that story. After I'm done explaining why OS is bad, I'll explain why I can't get into Poppin' Music. So anyways, so I was like, okay, so rhythm games are about soul, you know? You boot up your Project Diva, and, like, yeah, hitting the buttons to the music is, like, fun and fine or whatever, and you like the songs. But the real fun comes in with, like, the backgrounds, with, like, the full music videos, and you've got, like, the fucking, you know, the really good animations, and it fits all the songs, and you can, like, swap out the costumes, you can lock a bunch of them. There's like a million Miku outfits, you know? You got, like there's, like, outfits where she's dressed up as every color of the PSP, you know? It's like, it's good shit. And, like, and like, you know, like, that's what the core of the rhythm game is, you know? Like, if you wanted to, you could just fucking boot up, like, a music player and listen to the song, you know? It's like, whatever. The reason that rhythm games captivate people and make them play it for so long is because you can feel a connection to the game, and that works really well with a little game on the DS called Os Tatakai Oendan, as I'm going to refer to it from now on as Oendan. Do know this does include Elite Beat Agents as well. It's the same game, pretty much, just American music, and it's still a really good game. All 3 Oendan games are 10 out of 10. They're all excellent, and the way that those games work is you tap on your touchscreen in time with the music, and the games are really oddly unforgiving, but, like, the better you do in the songs, there's a little comic that plays out in the top screen, and, like, on the bottom screen you've got your cheerleader guys, and they're all fucking dancing to the music, and they're doing the crazy moves, and they do better moves the better you do, and the better you do, the better the outcome is in the little comic book that's playing on the top screen. So, like, you get, like, I don't know, what's like a really famous one? There's the Highway Star one from Elite Beat Agents that's a really good one, where, like, a dog ends up on, like, he falls asleep in the back of a truck, and, like, the truck drives off, and he's got to get home, and, like, you're dancing with the dog, and you're getting him home, and, like, if you get the good event in one of them, it's like, ooh, he gets a hitchhiker ride, and it's good, and if you get the bad event, it's like, it's a bad hitchhiker ride, and it turns out awful, and you get, like, a little X, and it tells you did bad, and it's like, it's a really good setup for a rhythm game that gets you completely invested in it. Like, it's pretty short, but, like, you don't even notice it most of the time. It's a very good game. Lots of soul there. And then people really liked the gameplay of that for some reason. Just the raw clicking the circles.
Yeah,
and
you know what? Okay, alright, here's the thing. I can't get into OS, not because of any of that. I literally just do not like the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I don't think it can be redeemed,
No.
even if I played the DS one, because
I think the DS one's very good. I'm about to explain why there's a difference.
No, but, like, what I don't like about it is, okay, I guess this doesn't totally apply, because I love Beat Saber. But, okay, Beat Saber's different. And I'll explain why in a minute. I don't like that. I feel like the challenge of a rhythm game is it's kind of supposed to be, like, synonymous. It's supposed to be, like, a gamified version of playing a song, where, like, you gotta time it correctly, and you gotta make sure you're pressing the right button, and stuff like that. But in OS, it's more like, you have to make sure you're, like, accurate with, like, where the button is. Like you have to move your mouse, stuff like that. I feel like it's more about that than pressing the button.
There is no mouse movement. It's moving your touch screen or your stylus around. You're tapping on the touch screen with the stylus. That's it. It's a very different motion that feels a lot better on the DS, in my opinion. This is the same reason why emulating DS games is really odd.
You can still play OS that way though.
Yeah.
I think
the first time I played OS, it was actually on a tablet.
Well, tablet. I get that, right? But it's different when it's on the DS, and you have that the fun mixed in, right?
All right. I'm sure the experience is better. I just don't think I would be into it.
It is a good experience. What I'm arguing about is the fact that they have drained it of everything that is good about it. Like, gone are the little comic book segments. Gone is the dancing. Gone is the hype. Gone is, like, fucking everything. It's just, like, plain boring. You're clicking on the circles.
It's just like a raw, like, fun, like, custom rhythm game.
My PP dough.
I'm.
What?
The points, the like global like ranking.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
They're called PP.
I don't know.
It's like I don't think they were like going for like the same thing as a Wendon. They just kind of like copied the raw gameplay.
Okay, yeah, but like what I'm saying, right, is like them copying the raw gameplay, right?
Yeah.
Is not fun. It did not make the game fun. It made the game boring and
Gameplay is
not
shit.
fun.
It's
The thing about Oendon is that the rhythm game is something you tolerate.
PPDX is way better.
It's literally true.
I disagree. I like disagree. It's like the gameplay is like is like fun in Osu. Like I don't know.
No.
Let me explain. The gameplay in Osu in Oendon is fun because when you are doing good in the gameplay,
You just said it's something you tolerate.
when you are doing good in the gameplay, the game rewards you by having this cute little cutscene play out, and the better you do, the happier the dog gets, and it's like, ooh, yeah, that's fun, yay.
That's not the only source of fun though. I mean, unless the beat maps like just suck.
The raw gameplay, just the tapping on the circles, if I had to just do that for 3 minutes and like that was it, they removed everything else, I would not have finished Oendon. I would not have on any difficulty. I think it is just abysmal.
Even if it were like really super challenging and you got to listen to all your favorite tunes.
Yes. You can tell because I don't play OS right now.
I guess, yeah, but like, well, OS doesn't have like a finish line, and I feel like that's like a thing that you'd value, you know? It's like a purely custom experience, you know?
I literally have 300 hours in Project Eva and at least 50 in PPD, so
I guess never mind.
All right. Here's why Beat Saber is the greatest rhythm game of all time, despite not being like a button timing thing. Even though OS is the worst game of all time. Because
True.
Beat Saber it's not like a gamified version of playing an instrument. It's like a gamified version of dancing.
yeah. No, it falls distinctly into the DDR category, which is a Wild West that I have not touched yet.
And you know what? Here's why I hate OS. Here's why I can't just not get into OS. I hate OSU.
Same.
I hate it. I hate it because it like is the defining online competition rhythm game where people care about their PP and the ranks and the high scores globally. And so the fucking Osu people, they come in and once Beat Saber had a global ranking system, they started just fucking shitting up my maps. And they made the maps shit. They made them bad. Where, like, okay, the really good custom maps in Beat Saber were always about, like literally, you know, the kinetic fun of, like, dancing to a song. You pull off, like, a movement, and it's like, oh, hell yeah, you feel the music. But now the fucking, the Osu people maps are literally like the strat that people tell you to do. Like, oh, if I want to be good at Beat Saber, they tell you, do not move as much as possible and just flick your wrists around to hit all the notes. That's what they tell you to do. And that's what maps are designed for, is flicking your wrists around and doing nothing else. So they're not fun, they're shit, they're bad. I hate Osu people, I hate rhythm games, I hate them all. Okay, now, editor, put footage of Funky Dealer on the screen from the game.
Hell yeah.
That map is so fucking good. I think there's another one. It's also a Hideki Naganuma song. There's a mod that enables extensions for the maps, so you can create like custom environments and stuff, and like have the walls be in like weird places where there's like these walls that you're physically supposed to dodge with your head.
Yeah.
This other Hideki Naganuma song, it's the one. It's Wrapped in Black or something. It's one of those Sonic songs.
Yeah.
They have the walls set so you physically need to jump, where they're like taller than your user height.
Oh my god.
That's so good. That's what makes that one. That's what makes that game great.
You see, one of the things that really defines a rhythm game and how good it is whether or not what you are doing feels satisfying. Whether or not the thing that you are doing to interact with the song feels good. And you know what doesn't feel good?
Flicking your wrist around.
Sliding the cursor around the screen.
Okay, I don't know. I think there's something wrong with Osu people's brains, where they will say it feels good.
I think it feels good.
Hard to disagree with that.
See what I said?
Yeah.
It's like when like all the notes are in like a circle and you gotta do like the jumps like across the screen. It feels really good, just like bam, 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 like really fast. You know.
I feel nothing.
I don't feel much when that happens at all. And even then, that's only like one type of note that they do. All of the others don't feel good. Like anywhere near as good as that.
Well, then the other ones feel good too.
There's this part in the map for what was it? That Michi M song about wrestling. In Beat Saber.
Seraphim on the Ring.
Yeah, that one. There's this map in Beat Saber for that where it forces you to dab, and that is the peak of like satisfying rhythm game movements. I do not give a fuck when they make me do the big jump, as the Osu people call it. Where I hit the note, it was on the left and now it's on the right. Oh, that's not what I give a fuck about. I want to dab. I want to jump.
Another thing.
You're not gonna get that out of any game that's not a VR game, Adam.
Okay, yeah, and that's why all rhythm games are bad, except for the timing ones, where it's more about, where it's all about like, you know, being more of an instrument thing, where you're playing Guitar Hero.
You see, another thing is that reading maps needs to be satisfying and fun too, and OS doesn't have that either.
I think you guys are just like...
Wait, Oendon does have that to an extent because the screen is very small. You're just working with a little tiny DS, you know?
You think we're what? You think we're what?
Yes,
like,
Sayu.
This is like... like, all these complaints are just like... This thing that is my opinion, whether it's there or not, isn't there for me. You know?
And that's why we can't get into it.
Yeah.
Well, like...
I'm not arguing why you hate OS. I'm arguing why I hate OS.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying, like, it's bad.
Well, it is bad, because I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I don't like it and think it's bad.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
I objectively don't like it.
Things I can't get into, thinking your opinion is objective.
Yeah.
Except Project Diva is the best rhythm game ever created. That is an objective truth.
Yeah. Now, if they made like a Hatsune Miku flavored Beat Saber.
They did make that. It wasn't very good.
I have to play it to be the judge.
Yeah. I haven't heard anyone in the fan base talk about it, but that, you know, that might be because, you know,
it's a PSVR game.
it's a PC VR game actually.
Oh, really?
Which is it's Hatsune Miku VR Complete. There it is. Hatsune Miku VR is the name of it. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've never had a chance to really play it. All I know is it uses, like, fucking MMD models despite being official. I don't know. It's weird. I've never heard anybody actually talk about it. It has good reviews, so, you know, maybe it's good?
What else can't I get into? Things I can't get into. Having a job.
Same.
Okay. Here's no. It's not just because jobs suck. I feel like I feel like if a job sucked, it wouldn't be that bad. But the thing that has always made me quit a job is the thought that I could be making this money just drawing. Like, the fact that I have another skill that I know I can make money on. Like, I'll try and get a job, and I know that I'll be making more money at the job because I do not have very much work ethic. Like, my work ethic is pretty much terrible. But just the thought that, like, oh, if my work ethic was good, though, and then I'll quit the job anyway.
Oh my god.
And this has happened, like, 3 times.
I have a very bad relationship with work. I have worked at many bad places. I just realized I did not explain why I can't get into poppin' music.
Oh, yeah.
So here's why I can't get into poppin' music. So basically, I went to community college, which is another topic I could bring up.
Yeah,
things
I can't get into going to school.
Yeah, I went to community college for a while, like 5 years, and when I was at community college, I used to meet up with this group of friends that I had that sort of sat sort of like, that college had like sort of an upstairs sort of cafeteria that like, you know, it was just a cafeteria. It had like wooden tables in it that you like sat at. It was a very standard cafeteria, but we used to just sit up there and hang out. It was a very nice time. I did enjoy the time I spent up there, but there was this guy who sat up there with everyone. I don't know his name. We'll just call him, I don't know, fucking what's like a pretentious name. What's a super pretentious name?
Derek.
Derek? Is that what you just said?
I said Derek.
Derek. I heard a G. Okay. Derek. We'll call him Derek. That works. Yeah. So, this guy named Derek was up there. This guy named Derek was up there, and
This guy named Super Eye Patch Wolf.
And Derek, oh god, how do I even describe him? My first exposure to Derek was he was showing someone an anime on his laptop.
Yeah.
That this was before I sat with these guys ever. I hadn't ever really spoken to them. I sat at the table like behind them talking to one of my other friends. And he was showing someone in full view of me an anime. And that anime was Paranoia Agent.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things about Paranoia Agent. First off, the show is a masterpiece. It's super good. But if you hear someone talking about it in public, it's kind of a red flag. Because Paranoia Agent has this reputation for being completely incomprehensible and
Serial
nonsense.
Experiments Lane.
Lane's the other one,
There are a number of
and
great shows where if you see somebody talking about them in real life, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I had not seen Paranoia Agent. I just knew it was one of those shows like Lane and Technolize where people would be like, yo, bro, it's so deep, you don't even get it. And they'd be really pretentious about it, right? And that is exactly what Derek was doing to this poor, unwilling person being forced to watch Paranoia Agent. I can't even imagine what it was like for him having seen the show now. Like, oh my god. But, so that was my first exposure to Derek, and eventually those guys sort of sucked in my little mini group, and we all sort of hung out and, like, talked to each other. I haven't talked to any of them in quite a while since I left the school, so, but, like, we all just sort of sat around and talked, and I was talking about rhythm games at some point. I don't remember what the reason was. I think it was, I was mentioning, like, a new Diva game, or I was talking about how there haven't been any Diva games, or something like that. And and I was just talking with someone else about that, and I was showing them. I remember now. I was showing someone Tunithm. That was it. I was talking about the Japanese arcade games. Editor, throw up a video of Tunithm real quick. It's like a cool game where like you play the piano with your hands. And Tunithm is like a lot of fun, and I really want to try it. And then while I was talking about Tunithm, Derek butted in and was like, "Wow, you like rhythm games, huh? I bet you haven't even heard of poppin' music." And I will admit, I had not heard of poppin' music.
I'm surprised you hadn't heard of it. Like, even I've heard of poppin' music.
Poppin' music's pretty popular, just not anymore. It hasn't had a release. It hasn't had a release in, like, years over here.
It was one of those, like, 2000s games.
Yeah, and even then, its releases were really sparse, and they were, like, they all had, like, a peripheral with them, because that game was unplayable otherwise, and when the peripheral market, crashed, we stopped getting them, so...
Yeah.
Oops.
Tragic.
Yeah, oops. Just not gonna get any more rhythm games. But, like, he was like, I bet you haven't even heard of poppin' music. Like, trying to gatekeep me from a topic I was bringing up. Like, it was so
I should
weird.
do that to somebody, but, like, bring up things that aren't actually real. Like, oh, you think you know this thing. Oh, yeah, have you even heard of this?
Oh, you like rhythm games? What's that? You like fucking Taiko? Oh, yeah? Well, I bet you haven't heard of fucking, Banjo Hero. Yeah, that's right.
Everybody knows Banjo Hero.
How does nobody know? Fucking fake fans, I'm telling you. And that was one of my, like, few interactions with Derek, was just him butting into a conversation that I was having with somebody else entirely to tell me that I was a fake fan of rhythm games and that he was actually the real fan because he had played poppin' music. I have played poppin' music now, by the way. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad.
Sad.
It's distinctly not fun. I still kind of want to get like an at-home version so that I can play it, like whenever I want instead of having to go to an arcade. But like I don't want to get an English one. So we're waiting until I import a PS2, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. One of the few other interactions I've had was me talking about Shin Megami Tensei, and him going, "You like Shin Megami Tensei? I bet you haven't even played Synchronicity Jack Brothers, the Japan-only free download game they've released on the internet that has a really obscure English patch that's hard to find." And I was like, we're done here. And I never spoke to him again.
No.
You know, things I can't get into.
Ghosted in real life.
This is unrelated, but I'm just looking at my little list again. Things I can't get into. Drawing things for myself.
Oh, wow.
For years, most of my own drawings have been just like I'll draw like a character, and there's like not even a background or like anything. Like all of my highest effort stuff is always commissions, and like that's where I put in all my effort. It's just like stuff for other people.
You have the ethic there to get into corporate art, so congrats.
Well, that's the thing, is like I'll accept things because they're stuff that I like. Like if I was in corporate art, if I was in corporate art, they would tell me like, okay, draw like a thing for this show or whatever, and I'd be like, this show fucking sucks. What the fuck?
Well, congratulations on your job at Square Enix then. I bet
Yeah.
you could get real into doing like fucking art for Final Fantasy if you were allowed to define what it looked like.
I'm sure that I would make an absolutely fantastic like in-betweener at an anime studio or something. I have always wanted to get into like having an actual professional art job. I just don't want to work at an American company.
Yeah.
All right, I've got one.
What? Things I can't get into America.
Yeah. Things I can't get into. Taiko no Tatsujin.
Oh my god,
I
all
don't
these
know what
rhythm
that
games.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. You
Taiko.
guys got me thinking. Taiko. No, I
We
don't
did this.
not like Taiko. Like, that's just it. I do like
Yeah.
the idea of Taiko. I even enjoy playing it sometimes. I just can't, like, get into it, you know? I've
Yeah.
played with the little drums, I've played with the controller, I've played in a lot of ways, and, like, man, I just... Taiko... I can't read it.
I can't read
The
Taiko
notes
either.
move. The
You're not
notes
supposed to
move.
read it. You're supposed
You know
to
what?
play
Actually,
it.
you know what?
Stupid.
Actually, I got it. Actually, my favorite rhythm game thing I can get into.
Yeah.
I started playing. What was it? A Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
And I spent more time in the shitty like joke feature sound test rhythm game than I did actually playing Splatoon.
That's good. That's good.
They made like a shitty little like Taiko clone to play in the sound test menu where every
Yeah.
song in the game has like a little Taiko map. and I played like it. I played it like all the time.
All right. Someone has yet to bring something up. Hey, Sayu, you have
Yeah,
anything
what
you can't
what
get
can
into?
you not get into?
I don't know, Star Wars, I guess.
Oh God, Star
Nobody
Wars.
can get into Star Wars. We all hate Star
It's
Wars.
bad. Star Wars is bad. You've heard it here first. The Triple Baka podcast confirms
Yeah.
Star Wars is bad.
What was that game though? Okay, Lego Star Wars is the best Lego game.
True. That because it was before it like became so fucking like formulaic and bland that like not even the devs gave a shit.
One of the greatest games of all time. Lego Star Wars Complete a Saga. That's the best one.
There's
Yeah.
literally no way that Lego Star Wars is better than Lego Harry Potter.
No,
I
I
don't
played Lego Harry Potter. It's shit.
Same here. It's
You're
so bad.
so dumb.
I literally couldn't even finish it. Like I
I mean,
played
it
through
was
about
fine.
half of
I
that.
didn't hate it. But Lego Star Wars was way better.
Yeah, no.
No.
Lego Star Wars is probably the most entertaining Lego game by far. The complete collection, of course.
Oh, there was another Star Wars thing that was actually good. What was it called?
I think it was one of the it's one of the RPGs, but
Yeah, it was the
have a-
Obsidian RPGs.
Yeah, fuck, what was that one called? Star Wars.
Yeah, I can't remember. But Obsidian made Star Wars games, and they were really good.
It was Knights of the Old Republic, that one.
Yeah. Specifically the second one, really good.
Yeah, I have a strong distaste for, games like that, but also a strong distaste for Star Wars in general, to the point where I don't want anything to do with Knights of the Old Republic, which sounds weird.
I have like developed a weird aversion to Star Wars stuff, and you know what I think it is. I think it's because I think it's because of my time living in that house with my older brother and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend really likes Star Wars, and I just thought,
Oh.
this stuff's lame. I have a terrible issue of associating things with people. That's not something I
Yeah.
used to do before like 2 years ago.
No, I do that super hard too. It took me think about this, right? I couldn't get into JoJo originally because I had someone from my past who made references to it all the time and also was super shitty to me.
Lame.
Oof.
But now you love JoJo.
Think about a version of me that couldn't get into JoJo.
I know.
Oh. I've never had that. I always found it really weird when people were like, "Oh, the fans ruined Undertale or whatever," or the fans ruined like I don't know, like Homestuck.
A fan base can ruin something like that, though. It
I
takes
disagree completely.
like okay. Here's the thing, right? It has no effect on the original work. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
However, it can affect the associations someone has around the original work.
Yeah.
For example, Homestuck cosplayers are notoriously bad. Were notoriously bad. I don't think many of them exist anymore.
Do you have like an example related to Undertale? 'Cause I don't know anything about Homestuck things.
Okay, the thing is, okay, here's the whole thing.
Wait. What? The reason I'm using Homestuck is because you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Imagine you're at a convention, right? You're just hanging out, and there's a fucking literal ocean of preteens, all of which are wearing, like, super fucking, like, gray, like, skin paint, and, like, big wigs with, like, fucking horns poking out of them, and they're all, like, preteens, so they're super rude and snotty and obnoxious, and they're, like, being mean to all the vendors and shit, and, like, a lot of them, because they're so young, don't know how to handle skin paint, so they didn't seal it on their bodies. So there are, like, horror stories of, like, conventions that are just, like, their convention floors are just, like, fucking covered in gray skin paint because it rubs off on everything you fucking touch. And it's like, these are your representation of Homestuck, and someone tells you, no, you should read it, it's really good. You're not gonna go read it.
That's the
You're
thing.
just not.
Okay, listen, alright.
Okay, the fan base doesn't ruin something if
I
you
watched
already like it.
Rick and Morty
One at a
after
time.
Pickle Ree.
No, the Pickle Ree guy was great. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that guy was base.
Like, no, here's the thing, right? Like, yeah, sure, the Rick and Morty fan base was ridiculous and stupid and awful, right? But it just got a lot of eyes on Rick and Morty. I wouldn't say it had a lasting effect. The Rick and Morty fan base thing was, like, there and gone within, like, 3 months.
It wasn't like
Undertale?
bronies.
Undertale, bronies, and Homestuck fans were plagues on the internet for years.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, maybe that's true, but I don't see... I don't know.
Well,
I
here's
don't
the thing.
see how that...
Here's the
like,
thing. If I like something, like, I played Undertale day one, baby. I finished...
Yeah.
I replayed that game, like, 6 times in the first week of it coming out. And so the fan base wasn't quite there yet. It was, like, mostly the Homestuck people were, like, Undertale fans at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I played the game. I loved it. It was, like, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100 on Metacritic. Greatest game of all time. And then, like, the fan base was really annoying. And I was like... Oh, the game's so good, though. I don't care. But for something that I haven't played yet, like, I kind of want to go and play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. And when I think about doing that, I'm just like, oh, Star Wars people.
Right? Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is it builds like an association in your head, right? Of like
I'm sure if I sat down with it, I'd like it.
Yeah, no,
But,
if you can force yourself to get past that initial bias, the problem is it totally affects your ability to get into something, which is how a fan base affects the original work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's just, like, not me. I've never had this issue.
Though, you know what? All gatekeeping is good, and the fans of something making something look bad is based.
Yeah, because you know what? For all the shit that I give Homestuck fans, they were having a good-ass time in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna tell them no.
Yeah. I'm just gonna not read Homestuck.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just not interact with the work, and there you go. And, you know, that's how anime has had insulated itself for years.
Yeah. And now it's all over.
It's coming undone. It's over. Anime's done.
Yeah, here's what I can't get into. People who I don't like liking anime. They're all normies.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone who likes anime should like anime. And
No,
everyone who
no, they
doesn't like
shouldn't.
anime should not
Okay,
like
we
anime.
already talked about this in the gatekeeping episode. It's a bunch of normies
Yeah.
who are like,
No, well, this is
fucking
becoming gatekeeping too.
anime's too weird.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
like
no,
Naruto, or what do they like? I don't know. They like something, and then
My
they're like,
Hero. My
they
Hero.
they just say they like anime, but they don't truly.
It's My Hero. My Hero's the new one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Even then, a lot of people are like, My Hero is too much fan service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they do complain about that all the fucking time, but they still watch the show.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
But
Yeah.
anime is immune. I've actually recently, like, as I've been reading more into anime news, this has been something that's, like, continually happened, I guess, for a few years now, is where, like, Western companies will, like, hear the outcry of, like, people on the internet, and they'll be like, I'm not sure if we can show this, and so they'll try and censor things or whatever, and the Japanese companies will just like refuse to like work with companies if they censor it too much.
Yep.
That's just become a thing over there where
There's a really good example of this, actually. Not quite anime. It is technically manga art, but technically a card game art that was originally a manga. Yu-Gi-Oh! There is this card, this infamous card in the fan base. Anybody who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Knows what I'm about to fucking say. There's this card. Editor, throw it up. Its name is Magi Magician Gal. And her artwork is notable for being done by Kazuki Takahashi, which is not something that is always done. Kazuki Takahashi only does very few artworks for the games, and they're all fucking stellar, all of them. And the TCG, which is what we call the American run version of the game, looked at that and went, her titty too big.
Yeah.
And you know what Kazuki Takahashi said in response to that?
What?
Then don't release the card. And you know what? They didn't. That card is still Japan only, like 8 years after its original release. We will never get Magi Magician Gal.
A decent amount of censorship does still happen, especially in games, but specifically with anime, there has been instances of, like, studios will kind of be like, during production, they'll think, like, oh no, the Western company wants us to, like, whatever, and a lot of people working in the industry are just like, this industry will either not grow or we're not going to censor it. Like we're not going to change, because the whole thing is like anime specifically out of all the Japanese entertainment industries faces already a lot of backlash in its own country for being too weird. And so like that's just been a thing that's like part of the anime culture, is like there's a lot of pieces of media that are just made for like niche weirdo groups, and if other people don't like it, they can fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that anime stays that way forever.
Me too. I do have another thing I can't get into.
What?
Generally speaking, this is not related to anything else. Things I can't get into. Any iteration of Full Metal Alchemist. Literally any of them. I don't care if it's the manga or the 2003 show or Brotherhood. I just can't do it. I don't care. I just don't care.
I feel like it's good though.
Yeah.
2003.
Okay, the 2003 show, maybe. I'm willing to lend that one some
Have you not actually tried to watch it?
No.
Brotherhood is so good.
I recommend the 2003 one someday.
Probably not.
Okay,
I recommend the Brotherhood one all the
do a
time.
2-episode test on it.
I tried to read the manga. It's shit.
No, literally. Just watch the first 2 episodes. If you don't like those, then just don't watch it.
Alright, I'll try it someday. But as far as I've heard, Brotherhood is literally the manga, pretty much. It's like a direct adaptation. And man, from what I've read of the manga, I want absolutely fucking nothing to do with that. Get that away from me. What the fuck? No. I want, like, I hate the manga so much. Nothing about it is interesting. I don't understand how this, of all things, became the phenomena. I don't understand how it's rated #1 on Mal. I don't get it.
I don't. Okay, say what you will about Full Metal Alchemist. Like, I'm sure even if you like it, why is it the #1 on Mal for, like, a decade?
It has
it's like a hyper masterpiece, and it's also very generally appealable to most audiences.
There are things that are more generally, like, I don't know, if Demon Slayer was #1 on Mal.
There are things that appeal to general audiences more, but none of it is like the general audience's like 10 out of 10, you know?
I don't
like,
even know
I give
why
Brotherhood
it's the
a 10 out of
10
10.
10 out of 10.
It sucks. It just, I don't know.
Well, I don't know how to explain this because I'm really bad at it. It's
like,
just
I don't know.
great.
I haven't watched Demon Slayer. I feel like Demon Slayer should be #1 on Mal.
Well, it's a lot harder for like a newer anime to be like that, you know. I'm pretty sure.
Full Metal Alchemist feels incredibly. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Somewhere between phoned in and super manipulative. Somewhere in there. Because it, I don't know. The thing that bothered me the most about, like, the show, really, was the arc, spoiler alert, of course, the arc with the little girl, and she fuses with the dog, and she goes, Edward, and the whole thing is, like, fucking, like, telegraphed from, like, 15 miles away, and it's so stupidly predictable.
What are you talking about?
It's handled with the care of, like, a fucking, like, a bowl in a china shop. It's just,
I cannot speak to how that scene or that whole like thing comes across in Brotherhood or the manga, but I thought it was good. When I reached that part in 2003, I got it. I was like, okay, I understand what the big deal is.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
like,
then when I watched Brotherhood, I was like, they fucked it up.
Like, I don't know. It feels like, imagine, like, what was that one manga that you were like, it's completely soulless, it was all the editor, what was that one?
Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin, yeah, that one. It's like if someone took the anime adaptation of Rurouni Kenshin and was like, nah, let's do a 1-to-1. And then that's what we got. We got a 1-to-1 of a soulless manga, and that's Brotherhood.
I mean, I still feel like Full Metal Alchemist definitely has plenty of soul. I just think, like, I think it's definitely from a creative person. Like the whole focus on like alchemy and like the world and stuff they have going on. It's very original, and I can tell that the author likes these characters and is genuinely writing something that they are very like personally interested in. I just don't think they're good. I just don't think they're a good writer.
Yeah, I don't know. The manga just feels really bad. To read, it is not very good. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, that's something I can't get into.
I hope you get over your bad taste someday.
Same to you, Sayu.
Shit.
No, you.
I can't get into manga. I'm sorry, bro. I can't. And you know
manga's hard to get into.
It's really, I really hate that I can't get into manga, because I feel like it's the ideal medium for me to get into as an artist. But I'm not creative enough to be an outsider artist. I can't be the guy who made Eco. I need to copy other people. And so if I'm not reading any manga, I just don't know what I'm doing.
I can explain how I got into manga a little bit.
What?
When I was getting into JoJo, right, I was originally convinced to buy volumes 1, 2, and 3 from a bookstore in a big city nearish by. It's like an hour drive. and it was like a school field trip to there, and we went to a big bookstore, and I had a friend there who was super into JoJo. He really fucking liked it and was like, the manga's super good. I really recommend it.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that man like suffered through the Duang scans, so brave soldier we've got. Anyways, and I was looking at them on the shelf, and I was like, damn, those look good, because like the spines. Editor, quick, throw up the Jojonium prints of JoJo. Jojonium. That's the name of like the re-releases that they did of parts 1 through 3 in Japan as hardcovers. They translated those ones and gave them to us, and I picked up all of part 1 and I read it, and like it took me a little bit to get into reading it, right? It took me a few days. But I read through the whole fucking thing, like, physically, in fucking a week, after starting it.
Yeah.
And, I got to the end, of course, Jonathan, bless his soul, dies and sinks into the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
As manga protagonists do, and I was like, what the fuck? And I needed to know what part 2 was like, so I bought all of the volumes of part 2 the next time I was at that bookstore, and, like, I read those, and then I kept going, and I bought all of parts, like, all the way through part 3, right?
Yeah.
But part 4 hadn't finished, like, printing yet, right? It was still going in, like, English. It only just got its final volume, like, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I really need to experience part 4. And I had another friend who was really into JoJo, and he was like, just watch the show. It's really good. And I was like, okay. And I watched the show. It was okay. I prefer the manga now that I've read it. But then, once I hit part 5, the end of part 5, I hit a predicament. I was like, well, part 5 is as far as they've animated, and as far as physical releases go, we were only up to like volume like 3 of part 4 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I need to experience the rest of this. But that would require getting into digital manga, which is really fucking hard to do.
That's the thing. That's the thing about manga. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I can't. Whenever I read manga, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm never watching another anime again in my life.
And then you look at the price point for the next volume, and you're like, fuck, I'm watching anime.
Not only that, I feel like, the format of a book is like the way that you're supposed to look at a manga page, Yes. Because whenever I read digital manga, I feel like my screen is not high resolution enough to see the detail in the artwork that I would like to see. Like, the midtones are often, they just become like a weird fucking pattern on a 1080p screen that looks like shit. There's always like JPEG artifacts. I just don't like it. But if I'm reading in a book, I feel like I normally read. This is my fault. This is entirely my fault. The 2 manga that I've read physically are Death Note and Genshiken. And Genshiken comes in these omnibus volumes, which are like, there's only 3 of them. And it was a pretty long-running manga that's now been condensed into 3 books. And so these books are fucking thick. And the Death Note manga, you know how long Death Note is. Yeah. That entire book it's 1 book.
I know, it's ridiculous. I love the fucking whole Death Note collection.
Yeah, I love the Death Note collection book. I like those big books because, that's how you save the money.
But editor, put in the scene from SpongeBob with the adult book.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're gonna get copyright struck from Viacom this time.
Okay, I'll put a lot of effects over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I open those, they are not fun to read. So I really feel like digital would be the ideal place. So I'm in kind of a PC versus console gaming situation where there's elements of both that I like.
Yeah.
But I just can't do either of them.
Yeah. May I explain a good process that I found as of this point?
Well, I've actually found the perfect one.
Yeah. No. So what I have found is what I did with JoJo Part 6 at this point. I read JoJo Part 6 digitally first and was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is really good! Yeah. And now I'm planning on buying it when it physically releases.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're getting into a manga digitally, you read the first couple of volumes and you're like, yeah, this is super good, I really like this. Then consider picking it up physically and starting to go in like that. But if you're starting to get into it and you're like, damn, this is kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for you. And then you just don't buy it.
If it's long running, give up on physical.
Oh yeah, no, never ever buy physical and long running. JoJo is eating my room.
No, here's what I found.
I will one of these days own all of 7 Deadly Sins.
You know how I want to have
Piece.
like a gamer PC and I want to have like a work PC?
Regular tablet, reading tablet?
Yeah, now I just have a tablet, and since I've moved over to drawing on PC, I'm going to wipe my iPad and just put every manga on it, because I have this app. It's literally just called Manga Viewer, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
I have Yokohama Shopping Log on here, and it's just like, I pay for it, so there's no ad, and I can just display both pages, left to right, the way that it is. iPads have that retina display, so I can't even see the pixels. And I can flip the page. Does it have a sound? Can you hear it? No, there's no sound.
I can't hear it. Nope.
But you can turn on a sound, and it has this stupid like page flip animation where you like flip the page with your finger.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's so great. It's so great. I love reading manga on the iPad. I shill the iPad as a manga reading device.
I really do want to get an iPad specifically for reading manga.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't have that kind of disposable income at the moment, so, you know, that'll have to wait. I'd also like one for rhythm games because iPads are really good for rhythm games. They have, like, no fucking latency to their fucking touches and shit. Android has a ton of it built in. It's really frustrating.
There's, like, okay. Apple is really well known for overpricing all of their products. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they have a different department on the iPad. The default iPad is like $300, and for the hardware you get in it is so good for the price.
I might have to consider that then.
Yeah.
I want to get one just for I feel like I'd like draw more if I had one. Yeah. That were like separate from the computer.
I highly recommend if you want to like have a good drawing experience. $299, the default model of the iPad. It's now compatible with the Apple Pencil, which is seriously like one of the best drawing pens that you can get. Though the Apple Pencil is like another 100 on top of the 300.
Yeah.
But it's a good device. It really is. I've drawn on it for a long time. It's great for drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll consider it. At this point, I'm still working on saving up enough for the fucking Steam Deck, so...
Yeah, and, moving.
Yeah, moving, that's another one.
Yeah.
I already have enough put away for the Steam Deck, technically.
Yeah.
I just prefer to save that at the moment.
I mean, I technically have enough for the Steam Deck right now.
Yeah.
So do I.
I'm so excited. I'm so fucking hyped. Anyways, fuck. We've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes. Are we...
I've noticed that this is a super, like Tom-heavy episode. I would bring up something, and I would talk about it for, like, 3 sentences, and then Tom would just talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm really easy to bait into conversations about stupid subjects. What can I say? Things I don't know anything about.
Oh, it was fine. Do we have a voicemail?
Voicemail? Do we have voicemails?
Speakpipe. Speakpipe.com/3baka. I think that's our thing. Nope, no voicemails. I'm gonna start sending in my own voicemails, god damn it. Did we
I am so mad.
Did we get a comment on our last episode? And we did put up the last episode now.
I, I believe we do have a comment. Yes.
Yes, we do have comments. Wait. Oh my god. I can't load it. I can't load the comment.
What the fuck?
Adaptations, all good or all bad. From Robert Anderson. Double post. When you're making changes in an adaptation, ideally you want it to be for the sake of updating the work. I disagree. Fixing plot holes, adding lore, or just doing something fun. Well, doing something fun, I would agree with, but I wouldn't call that updating a work.
Yeah.
No, I don't think the
don't
point
know.
of an
I think...
adaptation should be fixing plot holes and stuff. Sorry, Robert Anderson.
I think it... I think it could be, if you, I guess... What's the word I'm looking for? If you see something in the original, right, but like you want to make it better and crazier and cooler, and make it your own thing, then you can go, by all means, go off and like fix your plot holes, update the work, do whatever. But you know,
no, I mean,
that's...
it's not like you can't do a remake to do these things.
Yeah.
Like if you thought that there was something missing from the original, I guess here's my whole thing is I really just think that doing a remake or an adaptation of something, especially adaptations, should be treated like just an artistic project like anything else. Like it should be helmed by a person with a creative vision. And if they want to adapt something into a new medium, it's because they think it would work in that medium in a unique way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're remaking something, I also think that it should be handled in a similar way, where, like, imagine, like, the artistic inspiration for, like, updating Final Fantasy VII would be like, oh, I can imagine what Final Fantasy VII would look like in a modern rendition. And so you have somebody like directing the project to fit like a vision he has of what it would be like, rather than just simply, you know, doing it in a more mechanical way where you're thinking like it should be updated, you know, to fit some sort of new standard. I don't know.
That's like a remaster right there. Is like, ooh, we're making the textures different.
Well, I mean, like, okay, the Final Fantasy VII remake is a Nomura branded artistic work of its own.
Of course,
no denying that. But what's like a lame remake?
I've heard the Trials of Mana
the Blue Point
remakes.
The Blue Point remakes.
Oh god, yeah.
They were the ones that did the Shadow of the Colossus remake. I think what they're doing is just simply like they think there's a new standard of what a game should look like, and they're just merely updating the game. Like there's no reason to update it beyond that. It's like people look at the original and they say that looks old, and so they just make it look new. And I don't think that's of any artistic value.
To me, their worst fucking like slight in that regard was Demon Souls.
My least favorite thing. My least favorite is always Shadow of the Colossus, because I feel like both games are in this way. Like both Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls, they just pick the worst ones. Have so much thought put into their visual design, and none of it is carried over. Like where they didn't even.
No.
They didn't even think about it.
It's all just like a mechanical, like, let's take the old one and we like give it the new model, and we just like mechanically recreate every single piece of the game.
It's Ocarina of Time and Unreal Engine 4.
I don't think that's like artistically like bankrupt though. I think that's just like what they wanted to do.
The Blue Point remakes are artistically bankrupt.
No, I disagree.
No, the thing about it is that there are things in the original that are like artistically like sound, you know?
There are things that are like artistically important to the original game, and they just like get rid of them.
They just like drop off the face of the earth entirely,
Just like,
and
it's like
we don't see
treating
them anymore.
art direction like a technical limitation, so they think they can like get rid of it. Like, okay, the thing is like here's the thing that I remember a lot of people saying when what was it? Shadow of the Colossus remake came out. When you're like in front of the dead girl on like the altar or whatever, the background is like super blown out in the PS2 and PS3 versions where you can't even see outside because it's like super bright.
I have an exact image of what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
here's an image of Wander looking at her.
Yeah, and so people would often like look at the original game, and like it would be a very striking image when you can see that outdoors place, and it's like just light pouring in so much to the point where you can't even see, and people would be like, oh, by the way, fun fact, originally it wasn't going to be that way, but because the game ran at too low of a frame rate, rendering both the indoors and the outdoors at the same time, they just decided to put this in and make it that way. And so when the remake came around, they were like, we can finally render the outdoors too. So they just got rid of that.
And it destroyed the shot. It completely destroyed the fucking shot.
Yeah. It did make it look way lamer.
Like, it just looks so much worse, and it's like there's no cool effect anymore.
Here's what people don't understand about, like, technical limitations leading to artistic decisions. Like, just because a technical limitation leads you to deciding to do something doesn't mean that decision wasn't made with certain intentions. Like, you know, you're led a certain way because you can't do it one way, but normally when you do anything as an artist, you're thinking about why it should be the way that it ends up being. Like, almost never is there just like a time where you didn't do something with a reason, outside of like there's not many polygons on a character, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I know what you're saying.
What else they could have done is they could have made the entrance to the outdoors smaller so you couldn't see through it. They could have also done that, where you're just in a building, but they didn't do that. And
nope.
No, I mean, I know this sounds like a minor thing to like talk about to such like an extension, but this sort of design philosophy in the remake extends to every aspect of the way that they modernize the graphics in the game.
Every aspect, and I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Like, it even comes down to, like, the individual Colossus designs, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times in the original version, the Colossus' fur would look a little kind of, like, off, like, a little weird sometimes. And in the remake, they were like, oh, we can make it look like real fur now. And it came at the cost of making them all look like complete shit. Like, just complete dog
I think that's
shit.
just a matter of not knowing how to make graphics look good.
True. Blue Point is such, like, a weird studio, because I know they can make good games. I've seen them before. And what happened?
Like, maybe they're one of those studios that have multiple divisions.
Maybe. They might have a remake division. Games developed. They're responsible... Oh, God, this is worse than I remember. They're responsible for just a lot of collections and ports.
Yeah, they're just a port company. They were the ones that did the port of the PS3 version of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. Holy fuck, they are... Oh. Yeah,
they don't make games, do they? No, they don't make games.
They have 2 games to their name.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. And they're both terrible.
They've done ports. Okay, but actual games. So they've only done remakes and ports.
They have this game called Blast Factor, which was a download title.
Okay, so they have not made like
that
a
was
real
their
game.
first thing.
No, they have not designed a game from the ground up ever.
Okay, so all right.
And Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls were their first remakes that changed the graphics in any like meaningful way.
Yeah.
So whatever. No, Blue Point's shit. What were we talking about again?
Responding to Robert Anderson.
Ah, yes.
But he also adds on, if your version of a game, movie, show, or whatever is going to introduce a new generation to that media, misrepresenting it so blatantly can cause real damage to the original's reputation. I mean, I guess that's true.
Yep. He's specifically referring to the Castlevania show here, which is shit. I hate it so much.
Oh yeah, he says before that, to me, the worst thing you can do in this scenario is cut major characters or important scenes just because you personally thought they were stupid, not based in input from the fans or things you're adapting or anyone else. Case in point, head writer of Castlevania Season 1 omitting Grant from the CV3 crew because his name is stupid and pirates are dumb. End quote.
I'm pretty sure, like, that's paraphrasing a little bit, but the director of the show did say that to some extent.
I don't know.
I don't think that it generally puts like a bad view on the original. I feel like most people like recognize like most people would recognize that Castlevania show sucks, but that literally means nothing about the games.
Yeah, I think if it's a new medium, like if you're making a new piece of media based off of an old one, like the Castlevania show, I don't think that matters that much outside of the fact that, not that it would hurt the original's reputation and its future. Like, the Ghost in the Shell movie sucks, but that doesn't really affect the Ghost in the Shell, the franchise.
Well, the Ghost in the Shell movie sucked, but it didn't ever take hold anywhere. The Castlevania show has a fan base now because it was deliberately built to appeal to, like, Tumblr people.
Yeah. What I was about to say is the fact that you are now creating new fans of a franchise that are fans of something that have nothing really to do with the rest of the franchise. And this is a lot of the reason why the Sonic fan base is so, like, it has such a schism in it where, like, it's so divided amongst itself. Because basically, like, every piece of Sonic media is almost like a soft reboot of the franchise itself. To the point where if you like one, you're not going to like a lot of the others.
Yeah, it's so weird how specific Sonic is built, like, around that. Like...
So I think that's
I don't know.
That can be damaging in like a business sense, but I don't think it's like a problem per se.
I want introducing yourself as a Sonic fan to become similar to telling someone you have a dog. I want it to be like,
which one?
I'm a Sonic fan. Oh, what breed?
Yeah.
And then you're like, comics, and they're like, ooh, that's a rare one.
Yeah.
I want coming out as having a dog to be harder than coming out as a Sonic fan.
Man, are you fucking kidding? Nothing's harder than telling people you're a Sonic fan.
Yeah. Exactly. And dog fans should feel the same.
Sayu, you are going to die on this hill, and I will let you.
Perish.
Damn.
Yeah. But I guess I would agree with the general sentiment that making an adaptation or a remake, specifically remakes even, should be about, like, fixing things. Like, I don't think in any way that making an adaptation or a remake... I guess you could say remakes are a form of adaptation.
A bit, yeah. It's in a weird phase.
Which we should have talked about. it.
Yeah.
But I disagree with the idea that you have some sort of responsibility to fix or update something. Because I feel like if you're going into something with the intention of, like, essentially improving upon or one-upping an original work, I feel like that's a fundamentally artistically misguided thing.
Unless it's the original person doing it, in which case go nuts.
Then get the original guys. All right, then yeah, do whatever you want.
Which is why Nier Replicant is one of the best remakes ever created.
And it still has issues, in my opinion. Mostly just the remake.
Yeah, it's still...
just the music. If I could just mod in the original music, it would be the greatest remake ever made.
No, the thing about the music is the original composer didn't return.
Yeah, he didn't come back.
So they fucked up a couple of the songs, and I'd say a good majority of it's, like, mostly fine. But the original Nier OST is literally such a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Just so fucking good.
I still really like the music in the new one. It's not
still good. I mean, it's hard to fuck up Nier's music.
Yeah.
But I just think the mixing is much worse. I don't think it sounds as iconic and cool.
No, yeah. What was I going to say? It was something about remakes. Oh, yeah, like, the problem with doing a remake to, like, quote-unquote fix something about the original is that you are not the arbiter of what people think needs to be fixed. You can make a remake all you want that makes the game a masterpiece in your eyes, but 9 times out of 10, the fan base is going to completely reject it and say, no, this didn't fix what I liked about it. In fact, it actually destroyed something I liked about it. So you've actually ruined everything.
I feel like
I disagree. I feel like a large number of fans of like pretty much anything could recognize some flaw with it that they would see fixed if they were to remake it.
I mean, okay. It's not like you can't fix things about things, all right? Like, a remake to a lot of people often fixes things about the original or updates them to be better than they were. The thing with me is I honestly feel like I'm now taking the hard-lined stance against Robert Anderson. I'm now his enemy.
No!
I feel like what makes a remake good or bad, in my opinion, is really just the mindset going into it by its creators. Is it about one-upping the original? Is it about updating it and fixing it? Or is it about showing an appreciation of the original? Like an artistic appreciation? Because often when you appreciate something about it, about a work, it is like a personal thing. And so a remake or an adaptation from like an artistic director of that mindset would end up making a fundamentally different work from the original, but it wouldn't be like pretentiously, in my opinion, like a thought that you can do better, like that you saw something in it that would make it better than the original. It's just simply like your interpretation of the work.
A perfect example of like a good remake is like Final Fantasy 1, but like it's up-to-date version. I can't even say what console, because this one in particular got ported to like
Stranger
17 different things. Yes.
Yes.
That's going to be the greatest remake of all time.
Is it a remake?
It is a retelling of the events of Final Fantasy 1.
Okay.
But no, like, it's weird because this port was on the PS1, it was on the Wonder Swan, but most notably over here, it was on the Game Boy Advanced as Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, and it was like Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on the GBA. And it was
that's
like,
the one I played.
Yeah, it was like the directors of this one saw that Final Fantasy 1 is like a perfect like mobile game, you know?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot going on plot-wise. You're just sort of wandering around, killing things, getting money, experience, and whatnot, and they noticed that the experience fit really well on a handheld device, and they brought it to the handheld, and then we got it, and, you know, it ended up pretty good.
Was this from the same people who made the Final Fantasy V mobile port?
No.
Okay.
It was from the same people, I think, who gave us Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 Advanced, which is a considerably better port than any others those games have ever received, except for the PSP one of 4. That one was pretty good. But it was... I don't know if it was from the same people, but those ones are similarly good, but not in the same way that the remake of FF1 and 2 was. Where those games, like, they saw specifically that putting these games on a handheld device would make them considerably... I guess it would considerably change the experience to a new context, and to have that sort of guide people through it in a more modern idea. And I thought that was a very good way to handle a remake, you know? The developers actually saw something that they wanted to do with it, and they did it. So, good on them.
Isn't that, like, also, isn't that the first, like, American release of Final Fantasy II?
Technically, Chronicles was, I think. Here, let me check. Final Fantasy...
Wait, wasn't Chronicles, like, the joke Final Fantasy II that we got?
No, that's Mystic Quest.
No, that's Mystic Quest. Okay, yeah.
Final Fantasy Chronicles is Final Fantasy 1 and 2, but on the PS1. It released... Oh, no, that's not Chronicles. It's Final Fantasy Origins. That's the name of it. PS1 release date. Excuse me, Google. December 18th, 1987 is not the correct release of a PS1 game. 2002. It came out October 2002, and then Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls came out 2004. So technically speaking, Origins was before it by, like, a couple years. Oh no, it was by 1 year. The English release was 2003. So by 1 year. By 1 year. But still, PS1 first, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
weird.
For future reference, about why this is 2 episodes, this comment response is 2 episodes ahead of the actual episode number. I only uploaded episode 5. We're currently on episode 7.
Yeah.
How have we made it this far, bros? But
Holy shit.
That was on episode 5. And this is currently episode 7 that we're recording. Episode 5 was uploaded 2 weeks late. Or like a full week late. No, it was like 2 weeks late. Because I just didn't edit it. I've been too busy doing the things that I said at the beginning. The next episode is edited though, and it will be uploaded tonight. And then I don't know when this one's going up. I don't know. We'll just fucking flood a bunch of episodes.
I like how we're totally on track.
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording them on time.
Yeah. No, we have never missed a recording session, so, you know, yay for us.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to say?
Nah, probably not.
I don't.
Yeah.
All
right.
Nope.
All right. We've had our fun.
We're done. We're
it's
done.
over. Subscribe.
Don't
if we
do
say
that,
if we say that, it'll get put in our recommendations more. Okay, this is actually a real thing. Did you know this? If the audio detection algorithm hears that you say like and subscribe somewhere in the video, it's more likely to recommend it.
Are you
Why?
serious?
Because YouTube gets its money from engagement statistics, like data collection.
Oh.
My god.
It wouldn't want, and that that statistically does increase the likelihood that you will gain subscribers and get likes on a video.
Okay. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like comment,
and
subscribe.
Make sure to rate the video 5 stars.
Yeah, rate 5 stars. Click the link in the doobly-doo.
Top left.
If you want, you can also leave a video response.
The video?
I do not.
No, the description.
Of hell world?
The description used to be above the video.
I didn't know that.
If you watch the oldest like Idea Channel videos, he will point upwards when he says, "Click the link in the doobly-doo."
Oh my god. What the fuck? What? Why?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're done. We're done.
All right. See
All right.
you.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Now, if you're playing the movie on a
Fucking telephone.
get real.